Oke. Jadi sebelum kita lanjut ya di sesi berikutnya, saya akan membacakan beberapa aturan terkait webinar kita. Yang pertama, webinarnya saya harap kawan-kawan tetap mengaktifkan video untuk beberapa yang berkenan karena saya maunya nanti akan ada sesi sapa menyapa dengan pemateri kita tentunya, Sir Abdullah Azam. Tapi ketika materi dimulai, mohon untuk dimatikan audionya. Saya akan membantu nanti, akan memute semua kawan-kawan semua ketika materi berlangsung. Ketika materi berlangsung juga, kawan-kawan tetap bisa melakukan sesi tanya jawab, tapi tanya jawabnya tidak akan berlangsung intensif. Oke? Jika ada yang tidak dimengerti, raise your hand, dan Mr. Azam will notice you dan akan diselesaikan masalahnya pada saat materi berlangsung. Dan yang ketiga, webinar kita ini akan berlangsung sekitar 1,5 jam. Jadi kawan-kawan tidak boleh leave dulu karena seperti janji kami, sesuai yang tertera di poster, akan ada door prize dan door prize-nya kami yakin tidak akan mengecewakan. Karena kenapa? Kita akan mengadakan kuis di pertengahan materi dan setelah materi, di mana door prize-nya adalah ya, untuk kuis pertama, door prize-nya berupa kelas gratis untuk 2 orang pemenang yang akan diberikan kepada 2 orang pemenang, dan 2 pemenang tersebut bisa mengikuti kelas gratis kita yaitu General English atau English for Adults. Seperti itu. Dan untuk kuis kita yang kedua yang akan diadakan setelah materi, itu kita akan memberikan door prize berupa gratis kelas TOEFL dan juga gratis ditambah dengan gratis kaos Maca Education untuk 1 pemenang. Jadi akan ada 3 pemenang. 2 pemenang untuk kuis pertama di pertengahan materi dan 1 pemenang untuk kuis kita setelah materi. Jadi jangan tinggalkan webinar ini. Meskipun mungkin tujuannya adalah door prize, tapi tidak apa-apa. If door prize make you stay, guys, it's definitely okay. Oke? Karena pasti akan mendapatkan pengetahuan juga selama materinya berlangsung. Alright, dan sekedar informasi untuk instruction selama kuis nanti berlangsung, saya sebagai host akan mengirimkan pertanyaan di dalam grup chat. Jadi akan ada beberapa pertanyaan dan kawan-kawan harus menjawab pertanyaan tersebut dengan cepat dan benar. Jadi pemenangnya akan dipilih berdasarkan siapa yang cepat menjawab dan benar. Jadi meskipun ada kawan-kawan yang menjawab cepat tapi salah, maaf sekali, Anda belum beruntung. Jadi kita akan cari yang tercepat dan yang paling benar, yang menjawab benar. Oke? Saya rasa sudah cukup untuk instruksi mengenai kuisnya, dan sekarang kita masuk ke dalam pengenalan speaker kita untuk malam ini. Tapi sebelumnya saya mau memberitahukan bahwa kita menembus 71 participants, which is really good. Thank you so much, guys. Oke, saya akan share screen dulu. Alright. Oke, jadi speaker kita adalah Mr. Abdullah Azam, or you can call him Serdul, lahir di Watampone tahun 89, still young and full of energy. Oke, pengalaman mengajarnya itu sangat banyak. Jadi Sir memiliki kurang lebih 10 tahun pengalaman mengajar ya. 8 tahun, 10 tahun, 8 tahun for formal teaching, dan juga workshop yang pernah diikuti tentu saja TOEFL, teaching knowledge test, dan juga Serdul merupakan salah satu co-founder dari Maca Education sendiri, dan perlu untuk kawan-kawan tahu bahwa Serdul merupakan TOEFL trainer certified by IALF. Jadi IALF merupakan penyedia pendidikan trainer yang formal di Indonesia. Jadi kalian bisa cek IALF, dan Serdul merupakan salah satu dari yang terverifikasi atau tercertified by the institution. Alright, I think that's it for Mr. Abdullah Azam, and then we are going to start our webinar today. But before that, I am going to launch a polling. Jadi seperti webinar-webinar kami sebelumnya, kita akan melakukan polling pramateri. Jadi akan ada beberapa pertanyaan di mana teman-teman akan menjawabnya. So you don't have to answer it correctly, just answer it as what you know. Okay, guys? I'm going to launch the polling dan akan saya berikan waktu 5 menit untuk menjawab 7 pertanyaan di polling. Oke. Okay. Yap. Pollingnya dimulai, silahkan menjawab. All right. For 45 seconds. Oke, 1 menit berlalu. Oke, jadi kita punya 23 dari 73 yang sudah masuk, 27, 28. Oke, we still have 3.5 minutes. Oke, sudah terdapat 55 partisipan yang sudah menjawab pollingnya. Kita masih punya waktu 2,5 menit. Oke. Okay, 1.5 minutes, so we still need 17 people to answer the polling. Okay. 1 minute. 1 more minute. Okay, it's really exciting, guys, because we have 81, not 81, but 79 participants. Alright. 30 menit lagi. 30 detik. 30 detik. I'm so sorry. Okay, we won't spend that much time in polling, guys, so don't worry. 15 seconds. All right. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The polling ends. Oke, jadi saya akan membagikan hasilnya. Jadi kita punya, oke, which one is correct? Jadi untuk pertanyaan pertama kita punya 46% yang menjawab correct dan 60% yang menjawab 46% yang menjawab pilihan pertama dan 60% yang menjawab pilihan kedua. Untuk pertanyaan kedua 20% untuk pilihan pertama, 81% untuk pilihan kedua. Untuk soal nomor 3 ada 60% yang memilih pilihan pertama dan 43% yang memilih pilihan kedua. Dan untuk pertanyaan true or false untuk nomor 4 ada 47% true dan 53% false, dan 53% true untuk jawaban nomor 5. Untuk pertanyaan nomor 5, 49% false, dan untuk soal nomor 6, 49% true, 51% false, dan ada 36% true untuk pertanyaan nomor 7 dan 64% untuk false. Oke, kita akan membahas mengenai soal yang dijadikan sebagai bahan polling oleh Sir Abdullah Azam. Baiklah, tanpa menghabiskan banyak waktu lagi, kita segera bertemu dengan Abdullah Azam. Tolong disapa ya Mr. Azamnya sebelum kalian mute, bukan mute, tapi menonaktifkan videonya. Oke. It's your turn, Mr. Abdul Azam.
All right, thank you so much. Well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi everyone. So would you mind to unmute your audio please? So I want to hear your beautiful voice for sure. Perkenankan saya mendengarkan suara-suara merdu teman-teman sekalian. Banyak wajah-wajah yang familiar. Hi Miss Suci, I'll meet you again tomorrow in our class. Well, we've got the most loyal participant of our webinar, Miss Dila. Hi Miss Dila di Jogja. Apa kabar Miss Dila? Okay. Well, we've got Miss Andi from Albiruni. Hi Miss Andi, it's nice to see you here again. Mungkin saya tidak bisa sapa satu persatu, but of course I would like to say thank you so much untuk teman-teman sekalian for allocating your time joining our webinar for tonight. I know that mungkin pada saat ini hujan, it's the perfect time for makan pisang goreng atau mungkin nonton TV sambil minum teh. But you can participate in this webinar. It's awesome, and I'd like to say thank you so much for that. Well, let me see. Who else we have here? I saw Miss Leah's name there. Hi, Miss Leah. Well, it's a big pressure for me now since we've got some English teachers joining the webinar. Then it's the great one. Thank you so much, Miss Leah, for joining. And well, Mr. Adi from Egypt. Hi, Mr. Adi. It's nice to see you back here. How's life there? Well, so sebelum kita mulai sesi kita pada malam ini, I'm going to discuss a little bit about the result of our polling. Jadi kita bahas sedikit tentang hasil polling kita tadi. But after looking at the result of the polling, I can conclude that basically teman-teman sekalian pemahaman soal TOEFL-nya paling tidak sudah sedikit familiar dengan TOEFL. Well, anyway, kira-kira pengucapan yang benar TOEFL atau TOEFL? Well, can you unmute your audio? So which one is correct anyway? Is it TOEFL or is it TOEFL? Pengucapan yang benar soal nama tesnya apa sebenarnya? Kadang-kadang orang bilang saya mau ikut tes TOEFL, saya mau ikut tes TOEFL. So which one is basically the proper one to say the name of the test? Well, It's just for having the same understanding. Sebenarnya bukan TOEFL, but it is like the way the test is written, it's TOEFL. So let's say starting tonight after this webinar, nobody says TOEFL anymore, but we have the same understanding now. We should say TOEFL instead of saying TOEFL. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I'll let you see my slides there. All right. And I really hope that everybody can see my slides now. And we shall start our webinar now. Wait a moment. And here we go. Guys, as written in our poster that today's webinar is going to be TOEFL. And why we call it TOEFL success? Because, well, meskipun mungkin tidak seperti mengikuti kelasnya langsung, tidak mungkinlah kita bahas semua skill-skillnya, but we are going to share some shortcuts yang teman-teman bisa langsung pergunakan. So let's say when you've never joined any TOEFL test before, dan mau coba-coba ikut, kira-kira kiat-kiat yang bagus untuk dilakukan pada saat mengikuti tesnya itu untuk mendapatkan paling tidak skor yang lumayan bagus, itu seperti apa? Or let's say, teman-teman baru ikut pertama kali dan belum pernah ikut sama sekali sebelumnya. We really hope that this webinar can help you to know a little bit inside of TOEFL itself. Paling tidak ada sedikit pengetahuan atau wawasan bahwa bagaimana sih model soal TOEFL itu, berapa pertanyaan, dan berapa menit yang dibutuhkan untuk menjawab tiap section. Well, simple question though. Jangan sampai setelah ikuti webinar kita, dan ketika orang bertanya apa sih itu TOEFL, and we can't really tell what does TOEFL stand for. So it stands for this one, Test of English as a Foreign Language. Ya meskipun informasinya tidak terlalu penting sih, but at least we know TOEFL, paling tidak kepanjangannya dulu. So TOEFL is Test of English as a Foreign Language. Well, discussing the polling. Miss Dian showed you earlier about which statement is correct. One requires us untuk mendapatkan skor yang bagus. Untuk poin B, meskipun bahasa Inggris tidak terlalu bagus, kita mengerti tentang basic bahasa Inggris, kita sebenarnya sudah bisa ikut tesnya. Well, and seeing the polling, teman-teman sekalian kebanyakan memilih poin A. Memilih poin A. Somebody's doodle my slides. Thank you so much. It's getting bigger now. It's one, Mr. Husnul. Well, so thank you for the doodling. Now, there are two options here. Mungkin sedikit informasi. Kadang-kadang orang takut ikut tes, takut ambil tes TOEFL karena belum terlalu yakin dengan kualitas bahasa Inggrisnya. Memang betul, TOEFL itu tes bahasa Inggris. But we don't need exactly an excellent English skill in order to get a high score. Tidak harus betul-betul bahwa bahasa Inggrisnya harus bagus sekali, kemampuan bahasa Inggrisnya harus seperti native, dan grammarnya harus betul-betul mantap untuk dapat skor let's say 500. No. So you need to put that perception away from your mind because it doesn't help. Intinya, TOEFL itu kuasai skillnya dan punya sedikit basic bahasa Inggrisnya, you can join the test anytime. You don't have to wait until you get your perfect English in order to join the test. Okay, that's the first one. So, don't be afraid of joining the test, karena tidak harus menunggu sampai bahasa Inggris teman-teman sekalian betul-betul mantap, baru boleh ikut tesnya. And the second polling, I've got this one. Miss Dian, is it possible to erase the red doodle here? Well, in case the participant cannot really see the written things on the slides.
Let me figure it out, sir. Wait.
All right, thank you. Some people say TOEFL itu kalau dibandingkan dengan IELTS, well, let's talk about perbedaan IELTS dengan TOEFL. Kemarin kan Mr. Lutfi melihat dari persepsi IELTS-nya. So let's talk about TOEFL. Meskipun TOEFL, mungkin kebanyakan orang ya theoretical English, soal grammar, which is not productive skills. Tapi, meskipun theoretical English, we still need to prepare it. So, the statement number one, okay, So we don't need to worry too much about the test since it's just theoretical English. Dan tidak butuh persiapan yang lama untuk mendapatkan skor yang bagus. Sebenarnya agak sedikit keliru. Meskipun sedikit theoretical English, but still you need to prepare it. Okay? Dan point B, lama mengambil persiapannya tergantung dari level bahasa Inggris seseorang. Dan even though you have a very good English, you still need to brush up the skill a little bit. Meskipun mungkin skill kita bagus, bahasa Inggris kita bagus, paling tidak kita harus familiar dulu dengan model-model pertanyaan TOEFL, termasuk mengetahui skill-skill di structure terutama. Karena speaking yang bagus belum menjamin skor yang bagus. But we are talking about grammar, guys. Now, the other point, this point, I believe most of you answer it's for 2 years, then it's true. Persepsi yang keliru juga, kadang-kadang orang tidak mau ambil TOEFL karena belum dibutuhkan. So let's say I'm still in the last year of my study and I don't really need to prepare my TOEFL since belum saya butuhkan. Remember, persiapan TOEFL tidak begitu instan, teman-teman sekalian, dan tidak ada salahnya mengambil dari tahun ini meskipun mau dipakai tahun depan. Because again, sertifikatnya berlaku selama 2 tahun. So you don't have to join the test every single year or every single month only for applying a particular job or scholarship. You can take it this year and you can use it for the next 2 years. Well, that's so convenient. Next up, true or false? The first statement. Mungkin bayangan kita sama dengan SBMPTN untuk masuk universitas. Ketika jawaban kita benar, we will get plus. But ketika jawaban kita salah, skornya akan dikurangi. It doesn't happen in TOEFL. You don't have to worry about score deduction since it's not going to be there in TOEFL. Meskipun jawabannya salah, tidak akan ada pemotongan penurunan skor. So I tell my students it is a silly mistake kalau misalnya tidak dapat skor cuman gara-gara kita tidak jawab. Kesalahan yang konyol sebenarnya kalau misalnya skornya rendah gara-gara banyak pertanyaan yang tidak dijawab. Remember, tidak ada pengurangan skor meskipun salah. So when someone say, beruntung gitu. Kadang-kadang memang bisa jadi tebak-tebak berhadiah and it's correct and nobody cares. Entah jawabannya benar karena memang dipahami atau jawabannya benar karena tebak-tebak berhadiah. So the point is jawab semua. Okay, don't let any answer blank. So maximize your time for answering all the questions. Next up, Mr. Lutfi jelaskan di webinar sebelumnya that during the test you can basically take notes. You can take notes during the IELTS test. Paling tidak pada saat listening bisa mencatat sedikit apapun di pertanyaannya, lembaran pertanyaan. Unfortunately, it doesn't apply. We cannot apply this kind of strategy in TOEFL test. You cannot write anything on your question paper, okay? The worst scenario akan didiskualifikasi karena note taking tidak termasuk dari skill TOEFL. So do not write anything on your question paper atau di answer sheet kecuali jawabannya. And you cannot say that I'll just write a little bit on my question paper and I will transfer it back to my answer sheet later on after the test. No, you cannot do that. Oke, mungkin yang perbedaan yang paling mencolok dari TOEFL sama IELTS dari skill ini juga. Tidak ada note taking pada saat mengambil tes. So it's pure on your answer sheet, not on your question paper. Well, other one, it's going to be the last one perhaps. Nah, persepsi yang keliru juga. Banyak orang mengatakan bahwa TOEFL itu lebih mudah sebenarnya dari IELTS. Dan IELTS itu jauh lebih susah dari TOEFL. Like Mr. Lutfi mentioned in the previous webinar, berbeda. Dengan TOEFL dan IELTS, sama-sama English test, sama-sama menggunakan bahasa Inggrisnya, tidak bisa dibandingkan kalau skornya IELTS-nya tinggi, otomatis TOEFL-nya juga tinggi. No. Atau mungkin TOEFL-nya sudah sangat tinggi, otomatis IELTS-nya juga akan tinggi. No. We cannot go with that conclusion. And the last one, karena TOEFL sama IELTS kan sama-sama tes berbahasa Inggris. Artinya boleh dong kalau misalnya persyaratannya mensyaratkan IELTS, tapi saya belum punya sertifikatnya, artinya saya bisa pakai TOEFL. Atau sebaliknya, so let's say the scholarship that you are applying for requires you to have any TOEFL certificate, tapi kebetulan yang dipunya cuma IELTS. Makanya saya mau daftar pakai IELTS saja. Well, for some scholarship, for some jobs maybe bisa, tapi tidak semuanya bisa. So, hi Mr. Rizaldi, it's nice to see you back after our online class last month. Okay, it's disappeared. All right, now let's continue. TOEFL dan IELTS tidak bisa saling menggantikan, kecuali ketika persyaratannya mengatakan boleh menggunakan salah satunya. But when they requires you to have IELTS, TOEFL cannot replace IELTS. When they requires only, say TOEFL only, you cannot use IELTS for applying. Well, I'm not going to spend too much on the polling since it is not the point of our webinar, but the point of our workshop tonight is going to share some ideas, some insight about TOEFL itself, and let's start with this one. Kenapa sih orang butuh TOEFL? Apakah betul-betul untuk scholarship saja? So is it only for applying for jobs? Well, the very first time TOEFL exists, fungsinya sebenarnya bukan untuk pekerjaan, bukan untuk beasiswa, tapi pembuktian bahwa kita punya bahasa Inggris. Makanya mungkin di hampir ke semua tempat kursus ketika mensyaratkan untuk siswanya ikut ke kelas TOEFL, pasti rata-rata mereka punya persyaratan. Boleh masuk kelas asalkan TOEFL-nya sudah ada 400 poin, or let's say 380 something. Kenapa seperti itu? Karena dari skor TOEFL paling tidak bisa menggambarkan sedikit kualitas bahasa Inggris kita, meskipun masih terhitung pasif. So let's say when you've got your structure and written expression around 400 score, artinya basic grammar-nya sudah bagus. The same case with your listening. Kalau misalnya listening-nya sudah mencapai hampir 400-an, artinya sudah bisa mengerti instruksi. So when people talk in English, paling tidak sudah bisa merespon sedikit, atau you can understand what the speaker is talking about. Sama halnya dengan reading. Kenapa harus ada minimum score? How showing the level of your English proficiency? Okay. Hi. Can you hear my voice now? Okay. Sorry, guys. I forgot to unmute my audio since my connection was lost. Thank you so much, Miss Yvonne, for responding. Thank you. Well, let me repeat. So the second function of this test is for internationally recognized. Kenapa, teman-teman sekalian? Tidak Again, when you get the certificate, it's basically known in all countries. Meskipun persyaratan di masing-masing negara berbeda tentunya. Ada yang membutuhkan IELTS, ada yang membutuhkan TOEFL. Next up, well, as we mentioned in the polling that it's convenient certificate. So joining for once and it's valid for 2 years already. Satu kali ikut dapat 500 misalnya. Kalau persyaratannya mensyaratkan 500 skor ini bisa dipakai untuk 2 tahun. Now the question is, bagaimana misalnya kalau saya butuhkan sertifikat ini untuk melamar 2 beasiswa langsung. And kedua beasiswanya mensyaratkan sertifikat aslinya. So we need to submit the original version of the certificate. If I'm not mistaken, pada saat ikut tes, sebenarnya kita bisa request untuk kopi sertifikatnya lebih dari 1 with additional price for sure. Kalau tidak salah, kalau persyaratannya masih sama, pada saat mengikuti tesnya, kita bisa request untuk memiliki 2 sertifikat dengan tambahan biaya untuk ITS-nya. Karena fungsinya bisa dipakai untuk melamar di beberapa beasiswa atau beberapa pekerjaan yang membutuhkan 2 sertifikat asli. Next up, untuk teman-teman yang bercita-cita melamar di BUMN, okay, so working in Pertamina. Hi, Mr. Rizaldi, Pertamina in Papua. While he enjoys his job there, applying in PLN or any BUMN or prestigious company, tidak mungkin tidak mensyaratkan TOEFL, okay, atau IELTS. And teman-teman yang mau daftar beasiswa, okay, untuk let's say LPDP dalam negeri atau AAS beasiswa pemerintah Australia, untuk screening testnya mereka sebenarnya cuma butuh TOEFL, tidak harus IELTS. Okay, apalagi kalau misalnya let's say self-funded study untuk domestic study, tidak mungkin bisa S2 kalau tidak ada sertifikat TOEFL di Indonesia. Well, I got this silly question several days ago. Somebody contacted me only because basically he needs the certificate yang katanya cuma persyaratan administrasi, tapi dia tidak mau ikut tes. He wants to get the certificate instantly, punya sertifikatnya tanpa harus ikut tes. Sebenarnya, well, I can mention some places that you can get that kind of thing easily, tapi masa sih kita punya pekerjaan, atau masa sih kita dapatkan beasiswa atau lanjut S2, tapi dari hasil kong kali kong TOEFL. Well, we don't want that kind of thing. And that's why saya sangat mengapresiasi teman-teman yang ikut webinar pada malam hari ini, karena salah satu pembuktian bahwa kita bukan orang seperti itu. Thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate it. Well, this is sedikit manfaat yang bisa saya jelaskan tentang kenapa harus ambil TOEFL, dan masih banyak manfaat-manfaat yang lainnya. But again, untuk akademik, ataupun untuk kebutuhan cari kerja, you can use this certificate. But it depends on the requirement of the scholarship dan persyaratan dari kerjaan yang dilamar. Well, let's continue. Now, teman-teman yang pernah ikut tes sebelumnya mungkin sudah familiar dengan PBT. Kerja soal di kertas, bundar-bundar, hitung-hitung kancing, tebak-tebak berhadiah. Well, that's we call it PBT, paper-based test. Now, what's going on in this test? So we've got 3 sections. So you are going to have your listening test, the grammar, the structure and written expression, and the last one akan ada reading comprehension. So, mungkin kenapa dikatakan bahwa sedikit theoretical, karena untuk PBT sendiri yang sangat familiar, belum ada tes untuk speaking. Tapi bukan berarti TOEFL itu tidak ada speakingnya. Untuk PBT memang belum ada, but for the other test, the other format of the test, you are going to have the speaking test. Never imagine that you are going to have 0 or 1 in your certificate. Berbeda dengan penilaian untuk IELTS, TOEFL minimum skornya itu 310. Though some resources say 290, cuman ITS dan Allah yang tahu, karena belum pernah ada yang ikut tes dan betul-betul tidak ada yang benar sama sekali. So orang cuma prediksikan bahwa kalau misalnya salah semua, ya skornya mungkin 310 atau 290. Between those two scores, 310 or 290. However, tidak mungkin ada skor 1000. or it is not 9 like IELTS. So let's say semua jawaban benar, so you will get the score 677 as the maximum score. Okay, and CBT the second types of the TOEFL test, computer based test yang cuman klik, but it's not online. Okay, we've got the listening as well, we've got the reading, we've got the writing. Bedanya tidak ada grammar section. Well, the score is 0 until 300. Tapi CBT ini, I don't know whether people still need it. Okay. Next up, di IBT yang hampir sama dengan IELTS dan harganya juga sama dengan IELTS, kurang lebih. So you need to spend around 2.9. Tadi siswa saya sempat cek harga IBT TOEFL dan harganya 2,9 juta for doing the test only. So kalau misalnya persyaratannya belum mensyaratkan IBT banget, boleh pakai PBT dulu. The price is more affordable and skill-nya lumayan bisa didapatkan dan dipahami dalam waktu kurang lebih 1-2 bulan. Well, why I said TOEFL bukan berarti tidak punya speaking. Karena di IBT sebenarnya skill-nya persis dengan skill in IELTS. The format pun hampir sama. Tidak semuanya multiple choice. So we've got reading, we've got listening, speaking, and writing. So for one test. And the score also in the range of 0 until 120. Jadi tidak ada skor 677 seperti PBT test. Now, the problem is, untuk sekarang, CBT is obsolete already. Or let's say expired, sudah tidak bisa dipakai lagi, karena hasilnya tidak bisa terlalu merepresentasikan kualitas bahasa Inggris kita. Pertama, tesnya offline di internet, offline di komputer, dan bisa jadi ada sedikit kecurangan di dalam. Dan levelnya juga jauh lebih mudah dibandingkan kedua tes ini. So now the most familiar one is PBT, meskipun beberapa universitas dan beasiswa mensyaratkan lebih ke IBT-nya. So again, do check before joining the test. So what kind of certificate do you need, whether it is PBT or the IBT one? And for this webinar, we are going to talk about the paper-based test. So model soal yang paling familiar masih PBT, guys. Makanya kita fokuskan webinar kita pada malam hari ini. So we are going to focus more on the PBT test. Well, the first one, let's talk about the listening section and talking about the detail of this test in terms of the format of the test. So the duration is around 30 until 40 minutes. It depends on the length of the audio, tergantung lama durasi dari audionya. Dengan jumlah pertanyaan sebanyak 50 pertanyaan. Untuk part A, short conversation, you need to answer 30 questions dan sudah permanen pasti 30 nomor. However, untuk part 2 dan part 3, part A, part B, and part C, for the longer conversation and longer talks, kadang-kadang jumlah pertanyaan bervariasi. So, let's say longer conversation ada 8 pertanyaan, artinya longer talk 12 pertanyaan. Atau kadang-kadang keduanya imbang, 10 dan 10. Well, bedanya, longer conversation akan ada 2 pembicara, sedangkan longer talks is going to be only single speaker. And the point, so let's say they will rate your score between 31 until 68 if all answers are correct. Dan skill listening, we can even say that's going to be one of the easiest one comparing to the other skills. All right. And moving on, the second part of the test is going to be the grammar section, the structure and the written expressions. The duration is basically fixed, 25 minutes. Durasinya sudah fix 25 menit tanpa tambahan apapun, tanpa tambahan waktu untuk mengcopy jawaban dari question paper, okay? 25 menit ini sudah termasuk bingung-bingungnya, sudah termasuk hitung-hitung kancingnya kalau bingung, sudah termasuk sotak-sotaknya, tebak-tebak berhadiahnya, okay? But again, it's a skill. Tebak-tebak berhadiah, guys, juga termasuk skill. We'll discuss about that one later on. Now, jumlah pertanyaan 40 pertanyaan, but it's basically divided into 2 sections. Untuk section pertama, we call it structure. Structure, your job is mencari jawaban yang benar or completing sentences. And the second section of the grammar section is going to be the written expression. Tugas kita adalah mencari jawaban yang salah. It's more like error analysis. So jangan bayangkan semua tes TOEFL itu harus mencari jawaban yang benar. So kalau misalnya lakukan hal seperti itu artinya untuk written expression-nya salah semua. Okay? So number 1 until number 15 it's going to be the structure, cari jawaban yang benar. But for number 16 sampai 40 mencari jawaban yang salah for the written expressions. Well, I always tell to my students kalau orang-orang Indonesia itu rata-rata kuat di grammar. Kenapa? Kita sudah dicekoki soal tenses dari SMP, disuruh menghafal subject, verb, object, complement, well, and so ever. I don't know what is the terms. Intinya kita kadang-kadang kuat di structure, padahal sebenarnya in TOEFL I can even say structure adalah bagian yang paling sulit. Why? It's just like the math of English. Sama aja dengan matematikanya bahasa Inggris. Kenapa? Persoalan grammar, pola bahasa, aturan penggunaan bahasa Inggris, and so on and so on. Alright. Ketika kita sandingkan dengan IELTS misalnya, apakah ada pengaruhnya orang yang sudah punya TOEFL berpengaruh tidak untuk IELTS-nya? Mungkin tidak terlalu berpengaruh dalam hal peningkatan skor, but at least when you join the TOEFL and once you want to join the IELTS test in writing akan sangat membantu. Kenapa? Grammar sangat dibutuhkan di writing-nya. Dan di writing IELTS penggunaan tanda baca juga sangat penting. Dan TOEFL in structure and written expression penggunaan tanda baca merupakan satu skill-nya. Okay. Now, the last section of the test, it's going to be the reading comprehension. Yang paling membosankan, yang paling panjang, dan saya tidak tahu kenapa disimpan paling belakang. So, basically TOEFL is not only about your English test, but it's about your mental test. How do you deal with your mood? And how do you stay with your emotion? Tanpa harus terpengaruh, sudah bosan, dan terserah mi deh skornya mau berapapun, I don't care. Now, reading section is the easiest skill. Kenapa? Jawabannya ada semua, guys. Tinggal dicari di mana di bacaan itu. But karena sudah terlalu terpatri in our memory, that's basically reading itu membosankan, reading itu susah, and it's basically time consuming. Makanya pada saat tes, students sometimes give up even before doing the test. So in my TOEFL class yang saya lakukan bukan cuma mentransfer skillnya sebenarnya, tapi menyadarkan ke siswa-siswa saya, wake up, it's not the most difficult one, it is the easiest one. Well, now the duration of the test is going to be in 55 minutes. Kelihatannya banyak sekali, hampir 1 jam, guys. But can you imagine you've got 50 questions? Artinya, if you think about the math, for one number adalah sekitar 1 menit untuk menjawab satu pertanyaan. But the problem is, tidak mungkin dalam satu bacaan cuma 1 paragraf. That's the big problem. So you are going to get more than 4 paragraphs dan akan ada 5 bacaan in reading test, reading section. So if you say 55 minutes is enough, that's more than enough if you apply the skills, if you know what to do during the test. But let's say when you've never mastered any skill of doing reading, meskipun maybe our English and our vocabulary level is quite good, akan sedikit kesulitan di time managementnya. Okay. Now, the point it's between 31 until 67. Let's go with the strategy. Apakah TOEFL sama dengan IELTS? Harus individual bandnya yang diutamakan? No. In TOEFL test, people don't care berapa nilai listeningnya. People don't care berapa nilai reading Anda. And people don't really care berapa nilai grammarnya. But people will ask berapa nilai TOEFL-nya. So, tidak harus master ketiga-tiga skillnya untuk mendapatkan nilai 500 misalnya. Karena satu skill akan membantu peningkatan skor untuk skill yang lainnya. So, let's say, grammarnya tidak terlalu mantap, strukturnya belum terlalu bagus, tapi skill listeningnya bagus sekali. It means skornya di listening akan membantu peningkatan skor in your structure. So your job is basically knowing your strength. Tahu dulu kekuatannya di mana. Dan maksimalkan itu untuk memboost nilai untuk tes yang lain. Now this is the simple strategy, knowing your strength and knowing your weakness, sehingga bisa dimaksimalkan yang unggul untuk membantu yang masih sedikit kewalahan di Okay, now this is a little bit of the test format. So we can say the duration of the test sekitar 2 jam, 120 menit, everyone. Kelihatannya panjang sekali, but the problem is you need to answer 140 pertanyaan. 140 pertanyaan dalam waktu 120 menit. So when we satu pertanyaan, ya sekitar 50 detik. Termasuk membulat-bulat, hitam-hitam, oke. Okay? Dan mungkin ada sedikit persepsi yang harus dirubah. Because I remember this one when I was still in junior high. Guru saya mengatakan seperti ini. Okay, sorry guys, I got a problem in the connection. It was raining here earlier. Oh, Mr. Ojan, that's nice style. I like the hat. And finally, you're wearing shirt. Sorry guys, sorry for the inconvenience. I got a problem in the connection earlier. Hopefully, it's the last time happen. It won't happen again. Let me continue. And where am I now? All right. Before starting, is my voice clear enough? All right, so would you mind to wave to me if the voice is clear enough? Miss Jen, is my voice clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's clear.
I'm really sorry for the inconvenience about the connection that I cannot really control about the one. Now let's continue. Where am I? Well, so the duration of the test is going to be 120 menit dengan jumlah pertanyaan yang harus dijawab 140 pertanyaan. So when we do the math, you are going to have around 50 seconds untuk menjawab satu pertanyaan, termasuk mengisi lembar jawabannya. So again, jangan fokuskan mempercantik lembar jawaban, asalkan sudah bundar, meskipun tidak terlalu full, dan tidak harus betul-betul hitam, oke? Karena akan dicek juga manually setelah dicek oleh komputer. So believe me, this ITS, so ITS adalah provider dari TOEFL. So ITS is Educational Testing Service. So just information, jadi teman-teman sekalian, kalau misalnya suatu saat nanti ikut tes dan di sertifikatnya itu tidak ada logo ITS, artinya bukan tes resmi. So even though they say tesnya ini tes resmi Bu, tes ini tes resmi Pak, tapi kalau misalnya tidak ada logonya ITS, artinya bukan international test, bukan ITP test. Oke? Okay? So make sure that the logo ITS, Educational Testing Service, is there in your certificate. Even though dicek by computer, but I will check it also manually, karena I know this is the professional English institution yang mengetes kita dalam hal kemampuan bahasa Inggris, bukan kemampuan untuk memperindah lembar jawaban. All right, now let's continue. Let's talk about some general strategies sebelum kita masuk ke skill-skill shortcutnya. One day, if you plan to join the test, the ITP test, okay, first of all, even though you have a very good English, but still you need to brush up the skills. Paling tidak tahu format-format tesnya. And we are doing it now. So paling tidak setelah webinar pada hari ini, teman-teman sekalian sudah sedikit tahu paling tidak how many questions, apa yang harus dilakukan di part A, part B, part C, berapa pembicara, dan so on, dan so on. The second one, get in shape. So jaga kesehatan, pada saat sudah mendaftar tes. Beberapa tahun yang lalu, kalau kita sudah booking tesnya, if not mistaken like 7 years ago when I was still supervising for the test, when people applied for the test dan mereka tiba-tiba sakit misalnya, asalkan ada yang ambil slot kita bisa refund. Kita bisa ambil uang kembali dan tesnya dikirim kembali ke Jakarta. But it's not applied now. So once you register for the test dan pada saat hari tesnya tidak bisa datang, artinya uang kita hangus dan tidak bisa digantikan oleh peserta lain. No. So make sure when you register for the test, jaga betul-betul kesehatan, karena meskipun bahasa Inggrisnya bagus sekali, skillnya sudah ditahu semua, tapi tetap tidak bisa ikut tes if you are sick. Next up, arrive early, karena posisi menentukan nilai. And it is true in the TOEFL test. Kenapa? Tidak semua testing center tempat mengambil tesnya itu menyediakan nomor kursi. Tidak semua. Kadang-kadang kita bisa memilih kursi sendiri. So what I mean here, posisi menentukan nilai, guys, you are going to sit around 2 hours. Kita akan duduk selama 2 jam. Oke. Okay? Dan kalau misalnya kursinya tidak enak, tidak empuk, goyang-goyang, atau mungkin tidak, let's say you don't feel comfortable sitting in that chair, pasti konsentrasinya akan terganggu. Or let's say jarak kita dari speakernya terlalu jauh, sehingga tidak terlalu jelas, dan pada saat tesnya tidak maksimal juga skornya. So arrive early, so you can decide where to sit, okay, and check the quality of the speaker, and also bisa complain of your sitting position. Okay, it happened once that we did the test and one of my friend felt really cold, ruangannya terlalu dingin, dan dia meminta untuk pindah tempat duduk. Cuman gara-gara tidak terlalu nyaman dengan posisinya di situ, dan it is fine. You can do that during the test. So you have to make sure bahwa saya betul-betul nyaman sebelum mengikuti tesnya, karena believe me, it's going to influence your score a lot. Now next up, instruction carefully. Okay, listening beda instruksi, beda jawaban. Reading beda pertanyaan, beda jawaban tentunya. Well, meskipun sama-sama multiple choice, but it doesn't go with the same instruction for all type of questions. Next up, relax. TOEFL mungkin sulit, but it is not the end of the world. Bukan akhir dari segala-galanya, guys. Kalaupun misalnya skornya tidak terlalu bagus, ya meskipun tesnya tidak bisa dibilang murah, tapi paling tidak kita bisa ikut tes bulan depannya lagi. Dibandingkan IELTS 2.900.000 tidak bagus, hangus, mending 600.000 kan? So again, it's not the end of the world. Do not focus too much on time. Meskipun masalahnya adalah time management, tapi jangan sampai konsentrasi kita buyar cuman gara-gara terlalu worry. So you need to think of this. Jangan hiraukan opini-opini orang bahwa tes TOEFL itu sangat susah. No, it is not. So once you get a little bit about the skills and then you join the test for the trial and you will go with the conclusion bahwa tidak sesusah seperti orang bayangkan. Now, next up, imagine yourself in your dream campus or company. Karena topiknya akan ada seputaran masalah akademik dan juga seputaran dunia general content. Alright. But jangan terlalu pikirkan bahwa topiknya akan membahas tentang harga minyak dunia. No, they're not going to talk about harga minyak dunia. Mereka akan membahas konflik antara Palestina dan Israel, siapa yang salah. No, it's not going to be that complicated. So it will be something like academic. It will be something about general content, tapi tidak serumit konten-konten yang sangat mendetail. No. Dan guys, some perception say bahwa background pendidikan kita akan menentukan nilai kita. It doesn't have any connection with our educational background, with our knowledge on the test. So let's say topiknya masalah akademik, dan kita lulusan teknik. Nanti saya tidak tahu, sir, karena topiknya masalah akademik dan saya tidak tahu update-update tentang akademik. No, it's not going to be about your knowledge test. It's going to be about your English test. All right. So no worries on your educational background. Whatever your background is, you can still join the test and getting the high score. During the test, try to do it very fast, but don't focus on the time too much because it's time management. Next up, read all the choices. Kadang-kadang sebelum listening misalnya, sebelum mendengarkan pertanyaannya dengan membaca pilihan gandanya, kita sudah bisa mendebak kira-kira jawabannya pasti ini. Karena TOEFL itu listening terutama cari yang paling beda sendiri. So what I mean beda sendiri? Kata kerjanya tidak berulang, tidak ada kata sifat yang berulang dibandingkan pilihan yang lain, dan dia sendiri yang beda, bisa jadi itu jawabannya. Okay. Now this is like the shortcut. So even though you don't really, let's say harus tebak-tebak berhadiah. Saya tidak mendengarkan clue apapun, sir. Saya betul-betul blank. I didn't listen anything from the speaker, and I don't know what to do. Kerjakan strategi yang ini. Lihat pilihan gandanya, pilih yang paling beda sendiri. Beda sendiri dalam artian tidak ada bunyi yang mirip ketika diucapkan, tidak ada kata kerja yang berulang dengan pilihan yang lain. Well, it might be the answer. We will discuss later on about that one, the detail of this. Time management. So jangan kerjakan berurutan. Try to do it from the easiest question first. Oke, jangan sampai kehabisan waktu dan kita bisa menjawab seharusnya bisa menjawab 20 nomor, tapi karena kita fokusnya di jawaban yang susah, pertanyaan yang susah, sehingga cuma bisa menyelesaikan 10 nomor. So remember, maximizing your time to answer many questions as many as possible, dan yakin itu benar akan berpengaruh ke peningkatan skor kita. So, some perception, haruskah dijawab semua benar untuk mendapatkan 500? So guys, if your target is only 500, sebenarnya tidak harus betul-betul mati-matian belajar. Why? You just need to answer sekitar 60% dari tesnya. So let's say dari listening cuma butuh menjawab 29 benar dari 50 nomor to get 500. Dari structure, dari 40 nomor cuma butuh menjawab 26 nomor saja benar. Artinya ada kesempatan salah sampai 14 nomor. Dan 14 nomor itu banyak. In reading, dari 50 nomor, boleh salah sebanyak 17 nomor. Karena kita cuma butuh 33 nomor benar untuk mendapatkan 500. So, apalagi kalau sudah bisa lebih dari that number. You can get like 550, even 600 in your TOEFL test. Now, during the test, GEMO, guess and move on. So, tes sama aja dengan hubungan percintaan, guys. Kalau misalnya sudah rumit, tinggalkan. Banyak yang don't stay in one very difficult question.
Dari dulu mas apa lain-lain mungkin ada ajarannya jangan sampai ada Sorry, sir, we can't hear your voice.
All right, sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. I always forgot to unmute my audio. Pada saat menebak, pastikan jangan menebak acak. Okay? Never do any random guessing. Karena menurut riset, menebak acak itu kesempatan untuk benarnya lebih kurang dibandingkan menebak secara konsisten. Kalau misalnya let's say nomor 1 saya tidak tahu dan saya pilih yang paling cening-cening hati, like the one that you think that's going to be correct, dan pilih A misalnya, mau menebak lagi, usahakan pilih A semua. According to the research, kesempatan benarnya jauh lebih tinggi dibandingkan menebak secara acak. But I'm not really sure though, because I've never done it. Tapi the training that I did in Bali at the time, in my TOEFL training for teaching, my trainer said, tell your students, jangan suruh menebak acak, tapi pastikan mereka menebak secara konsisten, karena kesempatan benarnya jauh lebih tinggi dibandingkan menebak acak. And you can try it. Coba ikuti tesnya, bayar 600.000, tebak saja nomor 1 sampai 140 A semua kalau berani. Now, let's move on. After the test, what do we need to do? If you still have time, make sure you double check. Pastikan jangan sampai ada nomor yang tidak terjawab. So again, I say this one, it is a silly mistake when you leave your room and you don't answer any numbers only because you don't know the answer. Teman-teman sekalian, tidak ada penalty in TOEFL test. So when you don't know it, guess. Okay? Guessing adalah skill terakhir. Now, next up, practice makes perfect. That's what I believe. So even though you've got a very good English, you still need to practice it. You still need to be familiar with the test. At least you still need to know the format of the test in order to get the score that you want. And the last one, oh, no, that's the last anyway. Now, I'm going to share a little bit about the skills. Kita akan share sedikit beberapa shortcut yang teman-teman harus lakukan pada saat melakukan tesnya. Dan kita mulai dari short conversation dulu. For 30 numbers, number 1 until number 30, 2 speakers. Remember that basically, you cannot fill in the answer sebelum betul-betul yakin. Tunggu sampai selesai percakapannya. Karena kadang-kadang jawabannya disebutkan di akhir. Okay? So, don't shoot in the dark because I heard this one, and I want to choose this one karena sama persis bunyinya. No, don't do that in the TOEFL test. Next up, guessing at least the question words. Jadi pada saat instruksinya dibacakan, part A, in this part of the test you are going to demonstrate your ability to understand conversation in English and blah, blah, blah. Don't focus on instruction. The instruction belum pernah berubah sampai sekarang. So directly go to the next page dan look at number 1 sampai nomor 15 di halaman pertama. Dan paling tidak tebak kira-kira nanti pertanyaannya seperti apa ya. So let's say Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, semua informasi tempat. It means you can do the prediction. Pasti jawabannya nanti membahas masalah pertanyaannya where. And your focus is fokuskan mencari informasi tempat tentang tempat. As simple as that. Now next up, remember everyone, TOEFL is like stairs. Level kesulitannya akan meningkat setiap 5 pertanyaan. Alright? So do not imagine that the question is going to be flat for all numbers. No. And guess and move on, sama halnya karena TOEFL tidak mungkin diputar kembali. Oke, so sama halnya dengan hubungan Anda yang sudah kandas, tidak mungkin diulangi kembali. So move on and jawab saja apapun dan fokuskan di nomor selanjutnya. Put in your mind, salah 21 nomor itu pun masih aman di listening, asalkan bisa membenarkan 29 nomor. Do not force yourself dan jangan sampai bikin stres cuman gara-gara satu nomor tidak ditahu jawabannya apa. Move on. Okay, you still have many numbers left. Next up, don't panic. Okay. Some people say this one, sir, my vocabulary is not really good. Sir, kadang-kadang saya belum mengerti apa yang orang ucapkan ketika bicara. TOEFL test tidak menanyakan semua bagian dari percakapan itu. So you don't have to understand 100% completely the part of the conversation to get high score. Fokuskan saja di pertanyaannya apa, and fokuskan saja kira-kira jawaban pertanyaan itu apa. Jangan fokuskan mentranslate semua bagian percakapannya. It is not your job. You are not a translator. You are not an interpreter. Your job is just a taste taker. Now, let's continue with the first shortcut. In listening, I emphasize this one, tidak mungkin jawabannya sama persis katanya dengan percakapannya. So, the one that I mentioned earlier, cari pilihan ganda yang beda sendiri, tidak menggunakan kata kerja yang berulang, okay? Atau tidak ada kemiripan dari opsi A sampai D, itu mungkin jawabannya. Karena this is the skill, sinonim guys. So what you hear from the second speaker, karena pasti jawabannya ada di pembicara kedua. So even though you don't listen the first speaker, still fine. Meskipun tidak mendengarkan pembicara pertama, masih aman. As long as you focus on the second speaker and listen to the synonym. Okay, and here we go, some examples. Perhatikan contoh berikut. Why is Barbara feeling so happy? And the second speaker say, she just started working in a real estate agency. The question now, kira-kira haruskah saya tahu semua sinonim dari pembicara kedua? Basically no. Your job is to find sinonim dari kata kuncinya. Kata kunci dari pembicara kedua cuma dua. Kenali kata kerjanya, kenali kata sifatnya. Oke? Okay? Karena intinya kalimat bisa dimengerti kalau kalimat itu punya kata kerja, meskipun grammarnya berantakan, atau kalimat bisa dimengerti kalau kata sifatnya ada, meskipun tidak pakai to be. For example, when I say this one, I handsome, people still understand the meaning. Oh, handsome is cakep. But is the grammar okay? No, at least kata sifatnya ada. So here as the example in the second speaker, we've got started as the verb. And the question says this one. What does the man say about Barbara? And we've got the options. A, she always liked her work in real estate. B, she began a new job. C, she just bought some real estate. And D, she bought a real estate agency. Kira-kira jawabannya adalah? Can you please chat in the chat box? What do you think the answer is? I'm waiting. All right, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. B, 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 B. Oh, someone say A. I think B. Thank you, Miss Lira. B, Andi Muhammad Aris Mulanda. Thank you so much. And Randy Nelwan B. El Ahsan B. Well, that's nice. Thank you so much. And the answer is yes, B. Why? Start, sinonimnya adalah begin. See, I don't have to understand full conversation untuk mendapatkan jawabannya. Karena fokus kita adalah dengarkan kata kerjanya, dengarkan kata sifatnya. That's the keyword of the second speaker. Fokuskan di pembicara kedua, and cari sinonim kata kerja dan kata sifatnya. Alright. Now, the second shortcut. Let me check the answer first. The answer is, oh, that's B. That's, you are correct, guys. You are good. See, kita baru mulai webinarnya sudah pintar semua. That's awesome. Now, let's continue. The second shortcut that we need to know, similar sound. Jangan bawa persepsi mengerjakan soal bahasa Inggris pada saat SBMPTN atau pada saat ujian nasional di SMA ke dalam TOEFL. Dulu kita diinstruksikan oleh guru kita cari bunyi yang mirip-mirip. Itu pasti jawabannya. Don't do that in TOEFL test. Karena ketika bunyinya sama, artinya salah. Oke? Okay? So, ketika bunyinya sama, artinya salah. So, the one that I mentioned earlier, cari yang paling beda sendiri. Artinya beda bunyinya, beda katanya. So, let's say this one. I heard that Sally just moved into the new big house near the beach. Focus on the second speaker. But Sally doesn't have a cent. Sally doesn't have a cent. And we've got some options. Okay. Sally doesn't have cents. Look at Alpha. Sally has no cents. Cent and cents. Sama kan ketika diucapkan? Bunyinya hampir sama, mirip. But again, bunyi sama artinya salah. Don't choose that. And next up. All right. That's great. Saya belum. Well, you are so enthusiastic, guys. Some of you answered the questions, right? That's awesome. Thank you so much. And the second option, send. And in the second speaker, say send. And look at delta, set and send. And you're right. Some of you say Charlie, and that's the answer. Okay. Now, I'm going to play some audios. And guys, I need your participation. After playing the audio, I will show you the questions. I will show you the question first. And I'll give you some seconds to chat the answer for that number. And here we go with the first example. Now, I will show you the question first. And here are the questions. Okay? Are you ready to try? And here we go. Miss Dian, would you mind to let me know if the audio is not out, because the slide was, it stopped earlier, and in case that the sharing audio is not working.
Oh, okay, sir.
Let me try.
Are you enjoying your coffee?
It tastes extremely bitter this morning. What does the man mean?
Does it work, Miss Dian?
Maybe you can try one more time, sir.
Okay, so guys, is the audio working? Let me check the chat first. Oh, some of them choose the answer already. Nice, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, it works, means it's nice. Let me answer that. A, okay. A. And most of you are wrong. That's a big no. Remember, that's the clue. Hati-hati dengan bunyi yang sama. The second speaker say the coffee tastes extremely bitter this morning. And look at the option bitter and better. Kata yang sama persis, this morning, the coffee, bitter, better. Bunyi yang sama pasti salah. Extremely, the adverb, it's repeated. Okay, adjective atau kata kerja atau adverb yang berulang pasti salah. Okay, so the answer is, yes, that's nice, C. C is the answer. So I will play one more time, and I want you to notice the keyword in the second speaker. Hindari bunyi yang mirip, karena jawabannya salah. And here we go. One more time.
Are you enjoying your coffee?
It tastes extremely bitter this morning. What does the man mean?
Okay. The first speaker say, are you enjoying your coffee? And the second speaker say, it tastes extremely bitter this morning. It means when it's too bitter, I don't like it. Terlalu pahit. Okay. Bitter and better, it almost the same sound. So, hindari bunyi yang sama. Now, some of you did mistake in the first example, but let's prove it in the second example. Here are the options, guys. And the answer is C for this one. And the options is this one. He hasn't yet begun his project. He's supposed to do his science project next week. He needs to start working and so on and so on. And here we go. Listen carefully.
The science project is due next week.
I suppose I'll have to start working on it now. What does the man mean?
Now, please chat me your answer. Okay, A, C, B, A, C. Oh, okay, bervariasi ya, Bun. A, B, C, B. We've got D there. We've got A, all right. Nobody just D yet. We've got C, C, C. Remember the first shortcut? Okay, fokuskan di sinonim kata kuncinya, dengarkan kata kerjanya, dengarkan kata sifatnya, dan cari jawaban yang sinonim dari kata kerja. And I'll play one more time in case you want to change your mind. And here we go.
The science project is due next week.
I suppose I'll have to start working on it now. What does the man mean?
Okay. And the second speaker said, I suppose I have to start working on it now. I suppose I have to start working on it now. Kayaknya saya harus mulai kerjakan sekarang deh. So, kira-kira sudah saya kerjakan tidak? Belum, right? And the second speaker says start, sinonimnya sama dengan began. So, fokuskan ke kata kunci, cari sinonimnya, and yes, some of you answer A. That's nice. Thank you so much. Well, and let's continue. Oh, Mr. Indra Febrian raised hand. So, Mr. Indra, if you can hear my voice, do you have any question? So, Miss Dian, can you help me please to detect Mr. Indra whether he wants to ask a question or he accidentally pressed the raise hand button? No? Let me continue. Now, moving on to the second section of the test. I mean part B and part C karena formatnya sama, bedanya cuma di jumlah speakernya. Let's go with some general strategies sebelum fokuskan ke beberapa shortcutnya. In longer conversation, guys, intinya adalah pertanyaan pertama selalu antisipasi pertanyaan tentang ide pokok. Kira-kira apa yang mereka diskusikan. Oke? Karena bisa jadi pertanyaannya adalah what is the main point of the conversation? Dan pertanyaan itu tidak harus menunggu sampai habis untuk dijawab. Alright? And be really careful with numbers. Kadang-kadang disebutkan beberapa nomor, angka-angka dalam puluhan misalnya, atau nama tahun. Karena sometimes we don't really know the difference between 15 and 50. 13 and 30. Fokuskan di penekanannya. Kira-kira disebutkan 15 atau 50. Alright? Numbers can be tricky. Next up, don't worry if the topic is unfamiliar. Jangan khawatir kalau misalnya topiknya tidak terlalu agak asing di telinga kita. Because it's basically not your knowledge test, it is your English test. And listen very carefully on the questions. Dan terakhir, kalau tidak ada clue sama sekali, guess. Selalu jadikan sebagai senjata terakhir. Okay? Now, let's go with some shortcut, guys. Now, instruksi part B and part C will spend around 1 until 3 minutes. Khususnya di part C. Instruksinya kurang lebih 3 menit. Ingat, jangan fokus di instruksinya, jangan dengarkan instruksinya sama sekali. Directly open the next page dan coba tebak kira-kira topik dari percakapan nanti itu apa. How? Lihat pilihan gandanya. Pasti merujuk ke satu topik. Contohnya, oh topiknya nanti masalah kampus. Oh, it's going to be talking about tourism, for example. Oke? Dan setelah itu, coba tebak kira-kira pertanyaan nomor 1 itu, pertanyaannya apa? So let's say Alpha in the market, Bravo in the class, Charlie at home, Delta in apartment. Pasti pertanyaan tentang where, ya kan? Artinya, di bagian awal percakapan, your job is focus on finding informasi tentang tempat yang disebutkan. Ketika nama tempat disebutkan, itu jawabannya. Alright, so again, tidak harus mengetahui semua keseluruhan bagian dari percakapan. It's not your job. Next up, the answers are in order. Jawabannya berurutan sesuai dengan urutan pertanyaan. So let's say pertanyaan pertama, pertanyaannya kira-kira nanti masalah where, artinya di bagian awal pasti menanyakan tentang tempat. So let's say pertanyaan terakhir, nomor 34 misalnya, pertanyaannya masalah when. Artinya nanti fokuskan di percakapan bagian akhir, mendengarkan informasi tentang tempat. Nah, the fact is sebenarnya part B dan part C jauh lebih gampang dibandingkan part A. Kenapa? Semakin banyak informasi yang didengar, semakin besar kemungkinannya untuk menjawab. Sedangkan part A kadang-kadang kita masih mau mendengar tapi sudah habis. Kita tidak tahu di mana harus mencari jawaban. But in part B you've got a lot of words there mentioned. Now, and here comes another part of the test, guys. Akan banyak audio yang didengarkan. Let me show you the question first. Okay. Permasalahan di part B and part C, satu percakapan langsung mengcover 4 sampai 5 pertanyaan. Okay. So it means for one round listening, for the longer conversation, cuma akan di-play 1 kali, and your job is to answer 4 pertanyaan sekali. Dan jawaban pertanyaannya akan disebutkan belakangan. So, are you ready for the next exercise? And here it comes. Ingat tebak pertanyaannya kira-kira apa di masing-masing pilihan ganda. Dan ingat pertanyaan pertama yang writer, actor, athlete pasti disebutkan di awal. Sedangkan pertanyaan tentang jam pasti disebutkan di akhir. And later on, I will ask you to chat me in the chat box the answer one by one for each number. So I have to do it very quick because we are limited by time. And here we go.
Listen to the following talk by a drama coach to a group of actors. I know that some of you are feeling more than a little nervous about tonight's performance, and I want you to understand that this is quite a natural feeling. You are going to be on stage in front of a lot of people tonight, and it's normal to be experiencing some nerves. I would like to help you to understand these feelings and not let them interfere with your performance. What you are experiencing is called stage fright. Stage fright is the fear that develops before you give a performance in front of an audience. Stage fright is not experienced just by actors and actresses. It can also be experienced by musicians, athletes, teachers, anyone who performs in front of a group of people. It occurs before a performance when a performer is concerned about looking foolish in front of others. Just before tonight's performance, if you're feeling a bit tense, if your knees are shaking, if your stomach has butterflies in it, and if you are thinking about how bad your performance could be, then you have a major case of stage fright. To control stage fright, you can work to control both the physical reactions and the negative thoughts. To combat the physical reactions, you can try techniques such as deep breathing, muscle relaxation, or even just laughing to relieve some of the pressure. To combat the negative thoughts, you should force yourself to focus on what you have to do, rather than on what other people are going to think. That's all I have to say for now. I'll see you back here at 6 o'clock, because the performance starts at 8 o'clock. Just remember that if you begin to feel at all nervous, try some deep breathing to relax and focus your thoughts on the performance that you are about to give. See you this evening.
All right. Now, let's start the first question. So please chat me in the chat box your answer. This is the question.
Number 47. Who would probably not experience stage fright in their work?
Who's not experiencing stage fright, demam panggung, in their work? Chat me the answer now. A, B, D, writers, D. Okay, someone's using D for many times. Thank you. Well, Mr. Ojan, that's nice. Mr. Ojan, we've got B there. All right. Okay. No more answer? Okay. Now, the question asked about siapa yang tidak mengalami demam panggung. While in the listening section, you listen, the speaker say, stage fright bukan cuma dialami oleh actor or actresses, but also athlete, musician, teachers, okay, whoever perform in front of many people. And the question is, siapa yang kira-kira tidak mengalami demam panggung? The answer is A. Thank you so much. Now, the second question is,
and the negative thoughts. To combat the physical reactions, you can try techniques such as deep breathing.
Sorry.
Listen to the following talk. Listen to the following talk by a drama coach to a group of...
Sorry. Okay. Let's go with the second one.
Number 48. What physical reaction might someone who is experiencing stage fright commonly have?
What physical reaction someone experiencing the stage fright commonly have? A, C, A. Jessica, answer C. Okay. Liha, answer C. Indra Destiara, answer C. Okay. And that's great. All of you guys are correct. The answer is C. So shaky knees. Okay, that's the answer. Thank you so much. And let's listen to number 3. And here we go.
Number 49. How can someone combat the negative thoughts associated with stage fright?
How can someone combat the negative thought associated with the stage fright? Get me the answer. And the answer is D. That's nice, Miss Dila. Okay, D. Miss Shifa, thank you so much, D. Mr. Adi, thank you, D, for 3 times. That is awesome. D, okay. D, all right. It's basically clearly stated there twice, okay, that you need to focus on what you are doing. Okay, so the answer is yes, D. Now, I mentioned earlier, hati-hati dengan number, karena kadang-kadang ada beberapa number yang disebutkan, but you need to know which number belongs to which point. And here we go with the last question.
should the actors arrive at the theater?
Okay, when should the actors arrive in the theater? They mentioned 2 times there, but the answer is someone choosing D. Jam 8 itu performance-nya dimulai. It means they have to meet at 6. The answer is C. Okay, 2 times for the one answering Charlie. Thank you so much. Now we should move on now discussing the second section of the test. And I'm going to make it very quick for this one since we still have another one to do. But before that, I will give time again to Miss Dian because she will give you a little surprise. Miss Dian, I give it back to you. Time is yours.
All right. My God, this is so intense. I think we need to you can stretch a bit, guys. Terima kasih karena telah mengikuti latihannya, jadi bisa agak-agak merenggangkan otot-otot badan dulu sebelum kita masuk di kuisnya. Betul sekali. Jadi terima kasih banyak atas partisipasinya. I've seen like more than 100 chats because you guys answer all the questions. Oke, jadi kita akan memulai sesi kuisnya. Jadi ingat sekali lagi, jadi saya akan memberikan 3 pertanyaan melalui grup chat, bukan grup chat, tapi melalui chat box di Zoom ini. Jadi kawan-kawan harus menjawab dalam satu kali chat yang akan dikirim. Oke, jadi ada 3 pertanyaan, jawab semuanya dalam satu kali chat. Dan yang akan menjadi pemenang dari door prize kita, jadi saya akan memberikan 2 kursi gratis untuk General English bagi 2 orang yang beruntung. Jadi akan jadi pemenang adalah yang tercepat dan yang menjawab paling benar. Jadi kalau ada misalkan Miss Dila menjawab paling cepat, namun ada satu yang salah, berarti you are not eligible for the free class. Dan karena Miss Dila juga merupakan kerabat Maca, jadi kawan-kawan yang merupakan kerabat Maca, selain siswa ya, mantan siswa kami boleh berpartisipasi.
Suci, untuk
kerabat Maca, maaf sekali untuk guru-guru yang kami kenal tidak berlaku.
Miss Yvonne, I'm really sorry it's not for you. Miss Yvonne, Miss Angie, it's not for you.
Yeah, Miss Yvonne, no, you are not eligible.
Not for you.
Ya. Baiklah guys, saya akan berikan pertanyaannya.
And are you ready, everyone? Free class for 17 meetings.
Jadi untuk free class General English kita, jadi sekedar informasi, General English di Maca itu dikenai biaya 750.000 untuk 17 kali pertemuan. Jadi kawan-kawan akan sangat beruntung jika bisa memenangkan kuisnya. Baiklah, are you guys ready? Because I'm going to upload the questions.
In the chat here.
Baiklah, oke, 1, 2, 3, tunggu sebentar. I need to number the questions.
So you need to answer the question here. Oh, Mr. Rizaldi Mahamar bisa GoPay. I'm waiting for your GoPay, Mr. Rizaldi. Another GoPay.
You can check the chat box, guys. No,
and the questions are launched now. 3 questions from Ms. Dian, and you can start.
Yeah. No, we are not providing the online class for now, guys. So, jadi mungkin saja bagi teman-teman lainnya yang tidak berada di Makassar, maaf sekali karena belum ada door prize yang berhadiah kelas online. Jadi ini adalah untuk kawan-kawan yang bisa akses kantor kami di Makassar.
Dan jawabannya you have to directly answer it for 3 of them, bukan satu persatu.
Ya, bukan satu persatu ya, langsung.
For directly 3 of them.
Ya, betul sekali. Jadi langsung dijawab di kotak dialog yang sama. Jawaban 1, 2, dan 3.
Miss Dewi Astuti, the first one is okay, but the second one is no. Try again.
Yeah, I'll give you guys 10 minutes.
The one from 582402, the first one is okay, the third one is okay, but the second one is not. Try again.
Okay. No, I won't give you 10 minutes, but we will stop until we got the winner. I think that's the fair one. Right, sir?
Yep.
Let me check.
Okay. What does TOEFL stand for? Kepanjangan dari TOEFL. Number 2, berapa pertanyaan for all sections? And the third question, how many questions in part A only? Part A only. Miss Dian, have you got the winner of this?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. All right. Let me check. Not 150. Not 150. Oh, Miss Dian, look at Windy Eka Wardani. We've got one.
Oh, okay. You got one, sir. Nice.
Windy Eka Wardani, test of English as foreign language, 140 and 30 questions.
Okay, don't mention the answer first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because we need to get one
mentioned
more
the answer.
winner. Okay.
So Miss Dian, Windy Eka Wardani there. So
And
Miss
Christy,
Windy, Miss Dian got
Melanie,
your name already for the
I
first
got
one.
the one, and we got Miss Christine.
Miss Christine?
Yeah.
Is it our Miss Christine?
Yeah. Okay. We got the winner, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me check, okay? Okay, Serdul, can you share the one you saw?
Windy Eka Wardani, the
Windy.
first one.
Okay. Windy. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to scroll down the chat. So it took me a while to do that.
And
Okay,
the second
Windy.
one that you got?
Okay. Windy Eka Wardani.
And the second one is?
Windy Eka Wardani. We got the first one, and
Okay. Now, number 2, most of you answer 150. It's basically not 150.
Okay.
Miss Dian, have you got the second one?
I'm still scrolling, sir.
We've got some
Oh,
anyway.
okay. Actually, no, Miss Christine. I'm so sorry, Miss Christine. We got who is 5A2?
Yeah, I also mentioned that
402.
number, 5
Can you
with number,
tell
name
me
with
your
number.
real
That's the
name
second
and
one.
show your face, maybe?
Well,
Yeah.
let's sum up. So the first one is Windy Eka Wardani. And the second one is the one with numbers.
Yeah, the one with numbers.
And please kindly chat the admin after this session. Okay?
Okay.
Windy Eka Wardani and the one with number as the name. And Miss Dian got your names already. So please chat Miss Dian. And to know further information about the free class, and totally free, guys. Tidak ada syarat dan ketentuan berlaku. Totally free. Okay.
Okay.
So,
let me do it, sir. You can continue your session. Thank you
all
so
right.
much.
Thank you so
Bye-bye,
much.
guys.
582-402. You can chat Miss Dian. Where, Miss Dian?
Before you continue, sir, I'm so sorry. I was doing something wrong. So 582, you're not the winner because you got the question number 2 wrong. So you answer 150. It's supposed to be 140. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to search for another winner, sir.
Okay.
You
so you can
continue
go
the
with searching
session.
in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye
Then
bye, guys.
Miss Dian will announce later on. Now, guys, thank you so much for participating and congratulations for those 2 winning the free class. Unfortunately, it's only for offline. So if you are in Makassar, let us know. Then you can join our free class this month because we have some classes running now for the speaking class. So you can directly chat Miss Dian after this session. And let's continue with the grammar section, the structure and written expression. I'm going to share 2 shortcuts here, and let's go with the first one. And hopefully my voice is still clear. Can you still hear my voice, everyone? Or should I, Miss Dian, is my voice clear enough? Oh yeah, some of them say clear. Thank you, Miss Yvonne. Now, in structure, permasalahan terbesar adalah kadang-kadang bahkan secara otomatis ketika melihat soal structure, pasti kita coba untuk mentranslate dulu. Ya kan? So remember guys, your job bukan translator. Tugas kita bukan bukan menerjemahkan kalimat itu. But our job is basically only mencari jawaban yang benar. So it means jangan terganggu dengan kosakata yang terlalu sulit. Karena again, even English teachers, even you teach TOEFL, kadang-kadang kita, bahkan bukan kadang-kadang, seringkali kita dapatkan kata yang tidak terlalu kita ketahui. Remember, we are not native speaker. It is not our language. Bukan berarti karena saya mengajar TOEFL dan saya harus tahu semua kosakatanya. No. And it also applies to you. So jangan terganggu dengan kosakata yang terlalu sulit sehingga was-was, jangan sampai karena saya tidak tahu maknanya apa, so I cannot find the answer. Well, beberapa orang yang tipikal orang-orang yang suka nonton film, playing game in English, they tend to find the answer by choosing yang kedengarannya bagus. And you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Karena English is the natural communication. Kadang-kadang kalau misalnya ada kita baca dan kita coba dengarkan dan terlalu rumit untuk dipahami atau diucapkan, kemungkinannya salah. It applies also in bahasa Indonesia. Kalau misalnya ada orang bicara tapi terlalu agak sedikit berbelit-belit bahasanya, we can go with the conclusion, oh tidak terlalu bagus pola bahasanya. Sama halnya dengan TOEFL. So if you don't go with the grammar, go with the sound. Cari yang mana yang paling kedengaran bagus. Kalau misalnya sudah tidak bisa melihat grammarnya. Okay? And let's go with the first shortcut. And I'll start with this. Tugas pertama kita adalah mencari subjek dan mencari kata kerja. Kalimat baru dikatakan benar if the sentence has a subject or the sentence has a verb. Okay? Bukan cuma pemahaman makna, tapi juga kelengkapan kalimat. As you can see in the example, the North Platte River, blah blah blah, from Wyoming into Nebraska. Sudah adakah subjeknya dalam pertanyaan? Yes. Biasanya yang muncul di awal, selama tidak ada preposisi adalah subjek. Okay? Semua kata yang muncul di awal selama tidak ada preposisi adalah subjek. So the subject is we've got the North Platte River. But the problem is we haven't got any verb. So here are the list. Kalimat simple, satu klausa, pastikan cuma satu subjek, pastikan cuma satu kata kerja. So, can I choose alpha? Of course not. Karena sudah ada subjeknya it, double subject. Oke? Okay? Boleh tidak pilih delta? Ingat, kata setelah preposisi, preposisi means kata yang menunjukkan posisi. On, in, at, with, without, under. Preposition means adalah bukan kata kerja dan juga bukan subjek. So delta cuman objek. Oke? Okay? And we don't need object here. Flowing, tidak semua kata kerja bentuk ing otomatis menjadi kata kerja. So remember, flowing is a present participle. We call it participle karena bagian dari kata kerja. In order to make it the verb, ing selalu membutuhkan to be di awal. But the problem is, Charlie, we don't have any to be there. That's why the answer is B. Kenapa? B satu-satunya kata kerja. So, put in your mind, tugas pertama adalah identifikasi subjeknya and find the verb in order to complete the sentence. Pasti untuk structure sebutannya itu, Ji. Subject, verb, subject, verb, subject, verb. Alright? And the second one, preposition. Meskipun nama orang, meskipun nama tempat misalnya, meskipun orangnya langsung, or let's say any noun, tapi kalau ada preposisi di depannya bukan lagi menjadi subjek. The function is only object of the preposition. Sedangkan tugas kita adalah mencari subjeknya, mencari kata kerjanya. So take a look the example. With his friend, blah blah blah, found the movie theater. Sebenarnya kalau kita terjemahkan kan dalam bahasa Indonesia benar saja, no problem, dengan teman-temannya menemukan what is theater in bahasa Indonesia? Bioskop. Alright. Now, and let's see the example, the options. We've got has, he, later, and when. Your job, cari subjek, Sedangkan his di sini bukan subjek. Kenapa ada with preposition? Do we have any verb? We've got found as the verb too. So can I choose alpha? No, it's only a verb, no subject. Can I choose delta? We don't need any kata penghubung. Okay. Can I choose Charlie? It's not a subject. So the only answer is also B. Okay. Untuk structure seputaran ini, Ji. Cari subjeknya, cari verbnya, hati-hati dengan preposisi. Okay. Pastikan semua bagian kalimatnya lengkap. Sedangkan untuk written expression, the written expression, your job is subjeknya pasti ada, verbnya pasti ada. Oke, jadi you need to calm yourself a little bit after completing structure karena skillnya agak sedikit berbeda. Oke, subjek dan verbnya rata-rata ada, cuman masalahnya tidak cocok. That's what we call the agreement. So agreement means kalau subjeknya cuma satu orang, pastikan kata kerjanya juga only singular. So let's say is, was, plus s, or using has, using does. Okay? For example, take a look the options. Scientists at the medical center is trying to determine if there is a relationship saccharin and cancer. Subjeknya adalah scientist, yang berada di awal, tidak ada preposisi, pasti subjek. How many scientists? More than one, because we've got S there. But the problem is check the verb. Is trying. Okay? Does it match the subject? Does it agree with the subject? No. So make sure if the subject is more than one, kata kerjanya juga harus menggunakan plural verb. So the answer is, of course, alpha. So that's we call the subject and verb agreement. So make sure the subject and the verb, they agree each other using singular, plural, plural. Uncountable noun goes with the singular verb. And the second shortcut yang teman-teman harus antisipasi pada saat mengerjakan written expression is the parallel structure. So if agreement means matching, parallel means balance. Sekali pakai adjektif semua. Sekali pakai verb one semua. Sekali pakai to verb one semua. For example, when I say this one, I love cooking and watch movie. I love cooking and watch movie. Hati-hati dengan and, karena sebelum dan setelahnya harus paralel. I say watching, I say cooking, artinya setelah and juga harus watching. Now, take a look at the example. Manufacturers may use food additive for preserving, to color, to flavor, or to fortify foods. Yang mana kira-kira yang tidak paralel? Hati-hati dengan kata-kata or, kata-kata and, kata-kata but. Karena tanda-tanda parallel structure adalah salah satunya tiga kata itu. And, but, or. Sebelum dan setelahnya harus imbang. So the answer is D. Okay, C. No. Someone saying A. No. Windy Ekawadani, thank you so much. The answer is bravo. Thank you, Miss Windy. Why bravo? Perhatikan setelahnya. To color untuk mewarnai, to verb one. To flavor, to verb one. To fortify, to verb one. Sedangkan B menggunakan verb ing. Harusnya to preserve. So the answer is bravo. All right. So guys, because we are limited by time, and basically I've got some skills also in reading. Okay. But don't worry because we will send you the slides. So you can just brush up the skills there. And akan ada webinar lanjutan yang akan membahas per detail, per section. So this webinar pada kali ini cuma webinar untuk membahas kulit-kulitnya saja. So akan ada webinar lanjutan untuk TOEFL membahas listening semua, membahas structure semua, dan membahas reading semua. So I don't have to finish until the reading section since it's now almost 9:30 and we're supposed to finish at 9. But thank you so much for staying there, waiting until this webinar end. So I think I will end my session now for the webinar, and the reading example and skills shortcuts I will just send you later on in our WhatsApp group. And again, we can open the free consultation in the group. So anytime you want to ask me about TOEFL, bisa chat saya langsung, atau you can also send me the personal chat. So Miss Dian, before ending my session, I want to show them about this one. In Matcha, we have TOEFL preparation class. And what I can say this one, you are going to learn 100 skills. So you can ask some students joining this webinar here that I tell them, if you can master these 10 skills, I can even say that your English is as good as the one who's graduated from English department. Even beberapa mahasiswa bahasa Inggris mungkin belum tahu semua skill-skill TOEFL, khususnya di structure. So if you can master all of this skill, I can even say that basically your grammar mastery is stronger than those who maybe graduate from English department. So why I confidently say this one, because I've done this research and I myself graduated from English department, and I didn't get those skills in my class. Karena soalnya skillnya sudah sangat mendetail. So thank you so much everyone for staying, for joining my webinar, and of course I'm waiting for you to join our next webinar. IELTS is coming next week, and also my TOEFL webinar will also come next week, and talking about the detail of these skills. So thank you so much, and Miss Dian, I give it to you back. Thank you. And let me stop my sharing.
Okay, very insightful, sir. Thank you so much.
I
think we can give applause to Mr. Abdullah. Yeah, even though Sir Dulu can't hear you guys, the virtual clap hands. Okay. Thank you so much for staying. We still have 69 participants till now, so it's amazing. Thank you so much. But before we close our webinar for tonight webinar, I'm going to give you the last quiz.
What is the prize for this quiz, Miss Dian?
Yeah, I forgot to mention. I actually mentioned it earlier, so I'm going to repeat it. Jadi, yang akan kalian dapatkan di kuis ini adalah satu voucher gratis untuk kelas TOEFL kami plus T-shirt Matcha Education. So only one winner, but 2 gifts. Okay, guys?
How much is it worth for the TOEFL class, Miss Dian?
For our TOEFL class, it's 900,000 for one term, guys. Jadi 900.000 untuk satu term atau 20 pertemuan. So it's such a big deal. You have to do your best.
Miss Dian, how many score will I get after completing my TOEFL class?
Can you repeat, sir?
Is there any guarantee that I can get score improvement after completing my class?
Of course. So at least we guarantee you will get at least 100 points higher than your previous points. But you have to make sure that you will be a diligent student. You will have to make it to the class every time we conduct the class. That's the rule. That's the number 1 rule. Okay? So I think, do you still have any question, Mr.
No, thank you. I'm asking too many questions already.
Okay, but thank you for reminding me. Okay, we'll start the quiz now. Okay, let me... Same rule, guys.
Thank you also, Miss Windy. Give another chance for the other participants for winning this second quiz.
Okay, are we ready? So this is the question in 2 seconds. Wait, I need to number the questions, and yeah, here we go. Go get
now,
it.
3 questions and start. 3 types of TOEFL tests. I mentioned ETS. What is ETS? And the maximum score if you answer all correct.
I know Miss Dila really wanted to answer the questions,
I know. I guess
no,
her fingers are itchy to type.
those are not for you.
And you're far away, Miss Dila.
Yeah.
Aina Sina Asbi, we need 3 questions directly, Miss Aina. So you've got number 1, try to answer all of them at the same time. Miss Christine as well, answer them directly 3 questions.
We need a person with 3 correct questions in only one chat, okay?
So number your answer there. All right. Everybody answered the first question, but missed the second and the third questions. Oh, we've got another one here. PBT CBT
Oh my
Umar
God.
Tahir. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Mr. Umar, if you're in Makassar, you can join our TOEFL preparation class.
Okay, who is it, sir?
Mr. Umar, I guess.
Okay, Mr. Umar. Okay, let me. Yeah, I think the quiz is
but
over,
make sure
guys.
you are in Makassar,
we got
guys.
our winner. Okay, let me announce our lucky person for this last quiz. Okay, Mr. Umar Tahir, PBT, CBT, IBT,
okay.
Correct, educational, testing test.
Oh,
my
no,
God.
it's not. It's not testing test, Mr.
Okay,
Umar.
Mr.
I cancel it. I'm really sorry.
Right
It's not educational testing test.
Okay,
Try again another one. Try again another one. So Mr. Umar is wrong in number 1.
Okay, Miss Askia answer it correct, but Miss Askia is actually one of our winner from the previous quiz, so you're not eligible for this quiz.
Okay.
So we're giving
another
it
one.
to...
We got Miss Fatana Putri, Miss Dian.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Fatana Putri, you missed number 3. We only need 1, only the maximum score.
Yeah, we actually have, sir. We already have Miss Ayu Sabrina.
All right, congratulations,
PBT,
Miss.
CBT, IBT, Educational Testing Service, and 677. Congratulations for Miss Ayu Sabrina.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to contact you later. I have your contact, so you won't miss the prize. Okay. Yep, Miss Ayu Sabrina. Let me write down your name so I won't forget. And all right. Okay, can I see Miss Ayu first? Hello, Miss Ayu, can you show me your face? Okay. Okay. Miss Ayu, where do you live?
Kendari, but I can go to
Can you unmute your audio? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, Miss Ayu Sabrina.
Okay, hello, Miss Ayu.
Hello, hello.
Where do you live?
I live in Kendari, but I can go to Makassar.
Yeah, we can still.
But I can go to Makassar.
Hear you, Miss. Maybe you can type your.
You hear me?
Your address.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I can
good.
hear you now. Where do you live, Miss? In Makassar?
I actually live in Kendari, but I can go to Makassar as soon as possible.
Oh my! Oh my God! I love that.
My God, this is so touching. Okay, Miss. I will contact you later by phone. So
yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for the prize.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we've done the session perfectly, and also we got our winners. So we are pretty much done for tonight webinar. Jadi kita selesai untuk webinar malam ini. Sebelum kita akhiri webinarnya, saya mau menyampaikan sedikit bahwa grup yang kami buatkan untuk kawan-kawan juga berfungsi sebagai konsultasi. Jadi bukan kapanpun sih, tapi kita punya waktu jadwal di mana kawan-kawan bisa menanyakan hal-hal seputar TOEFL. Jadi kita menyediakan waktu dari Senin sampai Jumat pada pukul 10.00 hingga 18.00 waktu Indonesia bagian tengah untuk melakukan konsultasi via grup WA, dan juga nantinya saya admin WA kami, grup WA-nya akan mengirimkan link survei, di mana link surveinya itu berfungsi sebagai, ya tentu saja karena namanya link survei, jadi akan menjadi survei kawan-kawan yang perlu kawan-kawan isi. Oke, karena di surveinya, di form surveinya tersebut terdapat kolom nama lengkap dan email, tolong diisi dengan betul karena kami akan menggunakannya sebagai referensi untuk membuatkan sertifikat yang nantinya akan kami kirimkan. So make sure to fill out the survey link, guys, karena kami akan membuatkan kawan-kawan sertifikat berdasarkan survei yang masuk, karena kami membutuhkan nama lengkap dan email yang tentunya aktif. Seperti itu. I think we're done. Maybe how about Q&A? I don't think we have time for Q&A. So sorry guys. It's 9:30 here,
we can skip
and
that.
Yeah, Mr. Dul lives far away from our office, so we better send him home right away. Oke. Sekali lagi terima kasih banyak atas partisipasinya. We really enjoy the night. We have more than what we expect. Jadi sampai ketemu di webinar kami selanjutnya. Kami telah memposting terkait webinar IELTS speaking yang akan fokus pada speaking di Instagram kami. So follow our Instagram and get so many educational posts, dan tentunya juga akan ada beberapa informasi terkait kelas kami di Macha Education. Baiklah, saya rasa seperti itu. Ada yang perlu disampaikan lagi, Mr. Dul, sebelum kita benar-benar mengakhiri webinarnya?
I guess that's enough. That's all, Miss Dian. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you guys. Have a nice sleep. Bye-bye. See you on our next webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.